Hey guys, want to do something different today. We're going to do hopefully a somewhat quick review on Hobby Lobby's new airbrush paint. So this just came out. I used to buy a lot of their Vallejo paint there because they had a big stock of it. I've been noticing that it was going away little by little, and then it got completely taken out, and now they have their own, I'm assuming their own brand airbrush paint. So they got the airbrush paint, and they have a bunch of airbrushes and tools, so everything you can kind of start everything on your own. This is pretty cheap. So this is what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, 10. 10 pack of paint for $8. So that's really cheap. And then I also bought two more. So if you buy them single, they're $2 each, which is again really cheap. Most of the Vallejo paint I buy is, I want to say, about like $6 each, depending on the colors. Some of the metallics and stuff are closer to like 18 to 20. So I wanted to do. I bought this kit just because it's the iridescent paint, so it's a little bit different. I didn't want to just get the basic paint, and it's just got some nice colors in it too. So we got a gold, silver, iridescent white, which looks like a tint of like kind of like a pinkish into it, pink red. So that's a little bit different. We got iridescent pink, which looks like has a little blue tone. The fire red, which that I'm not sure about. It might also have a little bit of a blue tone into it. The orange, which is what I want to paint today, because this looks like just plain orange. I don't know. I don't know if there's anything, maybe a little bit of hint of white into it. I want to see what that looks like. This comes out with turquoise, which has a nice kind of bluish green, more of a green into it. A blue, which looks like a blue purple. It kind of, so it looks like this is purple. So it looks like this blue has a little hint of this purple, and this purple has a little hint of this blue. That's what that looks like to me. So it might be kind of in order. Like these two are slightly mixed. Maybe these two are slightly mixed. I'm not sure about this one. This probably has a little bit of this blue into it. And then it has a deep purple, which actually looks really nice to me. It looks like kind of like a plum purple, maybe a little bit darker with maybe some of the gold flake into it. So I'm excited to use this at some point. Maybe the next time I'll use that one. And then I picked up a gunmetal, and then some of the just their clear coat, just their gloss to try that out. Gunmetal, I haven't had any good luck on any other ones yet. I haven't tried the Vallejo gunmetal. I did try the Createx. I think theirs is gunmetal, and I didn't really like it too much. It wasn't too flaky. It was more of just a silverish. So I'm curious to see if this has more of a like a metal flake kind of look into it, or if it's just a dark gray basically. So we'll do the orange first. So I just have these little glass jars I buy from them. I picked those up from Hobby Lobby. It doesn't sound like there's any kind of ball or any in here. You can probably hear that. It's just it sounds pretty thin also. So I'm wondering if we have to thin it down. If we do, I have some Cretex thinner here. Let me grab something to open this up. So I was just curious of how this works because, like I said, it is pretty cheap. Wow, these seals are on there. So it does feel a little bit thin. We'll see how much it's gonna, if it has to be reduced at all. I would say it's actually seems decent. I would just make sure to clean the tip of those too It has a little tip on it. Clean that out just so it doesn't get all clogged up. So it does look like a whitish pink in there. Yeah, a little bit thick. Not too bad. So let me just add a couple drops of a reducer in there. Yeah, it doesn't need much. I think it's pretty good. I'm going to be shooting it through a 0.5 millimeter needle. I have the Krios. What is this called? PS290A that I'm going to be using. It's going to be a full coat, so I don't need anything finer. Yeah, so I'm not sure. Let me move the light a little bit. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. It's a little bit of like a whitish pink tint to it. Almost like a creamsicle kind of color. But we're gonna load that in the gun. We're gonna spray it. I have a little Hot Wheels truck right here. I primed it black already, and we're just gonna spray it over the black. I want to see how much that coats it, rather than the white where it might not need too much coating. So we'll do a pass with it, and then we'll be back. All right, so this is pretty much dried up. I did about, I'd say 3 coats. 3 coats on it. And like I said, I think I watered it down more than it needed to be, reduced it down too much. I'm actually going to try spraying it directly out of the bottle, do another pass and see how that works. Like I said, I'm using a 0.5 millimeter needle. And this looks like it might be thin enough to go through that. So I'll try it out, but you can see, like on camera, it looks more like a purple. So it is a chameleon paint, so it's purple. Let's see if we can get that in zoom. The orange itself is not as, doesn't stand out as much. And that's where I see more of the little spots kind of runs from it being too thin. But it sprayed out. I mean, it sprayed out really easy. I had no issues. Cleaned up really easy too, out of the gun and out of the little jar I had. So I'm gonna do another pass with just directly out of the bottle, and we'll see how that comes up. See if the orange sticks out a little bit more. Okay, so I painted it again. I did 3 more coats with the paint, and I tried to do it directly out of the brush, but this is just a hair too thick to get out of a 0.5 needle. So I added a couple drops of reducer in there, and then it sprayed perfectly fine. So the more you reduce it, the more the purple comes out. So this is more of the orange, and you can see, it might be hard to see in the camera, but there's like a shimmer of the purple through it. So it's pretty nice. It's you'll probably see it more kind of in the sunlight than on camera, but it came out nice. I think that this came out really, really good. So I do like the color of it. So that worked good. I mean, you could buy this bottle separate for $2. So that's 100% worth it. I would definitely buy that paint. So that works great. Like I said, just a little bit of reduce. A lot of the I wanted to try it out because a lot of the airbrush paint made specifically for airbrush is usually thin enough that you could just use it out of the bottle. I know, like Vallejo's airbrush paint, I've sprayed that directly out of the bottle without any issues. So this is just a hair too thick to spray directly out of the bottle, but otherwise came out great. Covered pretty good. Like I said, this was on a black base, so it did pretty good coverage with it. And I think I might mask some of this off and then try out the gunmetal on this and see how this works too. So it is grayish. It looks like it has some shine to it. It's kind of hard to tell on there. It's not bad. It's not a bad color. I would say probably not as shiny as I was expecting. So that's on a little spot, and then I also sprayed this piece of styrene here, and I think on a white background it'll look better. So this is actually pretty nice. And then once you clear it, you'll be able to see the difference. But this is a pretty good gray on there. So I like this. I probably had to reduce this a little bit more. Let me get that down. Probably had to reduce this a little bit more than the regular paint. Maybe just a tiny bit. I can't remember. It wasn't much, and I was shooting it with a 0.3 needle instead of the 0.5. But it went on really good. This was just 2 coats, and this went over the orange that was already on there. It covered really nice. So actually, the first coat pretty much covered the whole thing right away, and then the second coat just gonna finish it off. So that came out really good. So I would say again, for $2, 100% would buy this again. So I'll definitely keep this stuff and use this more. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna do some of the detail work with just the paint pen and go around and outline what I wanna kind of paint, and then I'm gonna go back with the gloss clear coat, the gloss varnish that they have, and try this out, see how this goes. This should be fine, just spraying direct out of here. That's pretty thin. So that should spray pretty good, and I'll probably do that out of the 0.5 needle also. Usually I do that with the clear anyways. So I sprayed that with the gloss varnish. Didn't reduce this or anything. Sprayed it directly out of the bottle and sprayed good. Like I said, did that out of the 0.5 millimeter nozzle. So you can see this gunmetal came out really nice. I actually like that a lot. It has some shine to it, little sparkle. I think that's a really good gunmetal actually. So I like that color. And then now with that clear coat on it, you can see that little bit of the purplish pink tint to the paint. So I'm hoping that comes out good in the camera. It's not quite a color changing, but more of just a almost like a color shift, I guess, a little bit. Not completely different color, but it gives you a nice little shimmer to it. So that's pretty nice. I do like that. And then the gunmetal on the top came out nice too. So that came out good. The clear coat really nice. Dries pretty fast. Like I said, went out really smooth. So I think this is worth it. I'm not. I can't remember how much other clears cost, but I know like the Vallejo bottles are a lot smaller. Let me grab one, and I can show you the difference in size at least for what you're getting. All right, so this is the Vallejo clear compared to the Hobby Lobby clear. So this is 1 ounce, 30 and this is 0.6 ounces. So this was $4 versus $2. So almost double the size and half the price. And I feel like they work pretty much the same. This might be even a little bit thicker. I can't remember if I had to reduce this at all. I feel like this does dry faster. So that is one thing. This does dry faster. So these are just over half an ounce versus these, I'm assuming these are still a full ounce. Yeah, so full ounce. And then these doesn't have a price on these. I can't remember how much. I feel like they were like $6. So, you know, big difference in price, and you get more out of this. I do love the Vallejo colors, though. They have a ton of different colors, so this is definitely something I'm going to go with. I'd say 90% of the time I'm going to use the Vallejo colors, just because I like them better. But this gives you a ton of options. I think I'm going to try this, the deep purple next. I have a printed body here that I'm going to clear this. I'm going to sand it down and prep it and paint this in, prime it white. And then I'm going to go with this deep purple and see how that stands out. I think this will shine better with a white base coat instead of a black. So I'm going to do that next. And we'll see how this deep purple comes out. So that's the deep purple there. This is about 3 coats I did. It covered really well. The first quick layer was nice, went on smooth, and then after that, I even did a wet coat on for the final layer, and that worked really nice. So this is just paint, no primer on. I'm sorry, no clear coat on it, and this is just the printed body. So you can see that's the. Oh, I put a piece of styrene on the back too for the bed, but that's going to be painted black, so I didn't paint that at all. But you can see the overspray there. You can see a little bit kind of black tone to it. So it's like a really, like it says, deep purple with a black tone to it. It came out really nice. I love this paint. This color is really good. But it went on real smooth. Same thing, reduced it down just a little bit and sprayed it through a 0.5 needle, and it came out great. So I ended up going back to Hobby Lobby and I picked up the black paint. So this is just the basic black. I figured I'd test this out just because I'm going to paint the bed cover black anyways. And I just want to see how the coverage is. Alright, I just put some in the cup. And this seems a lot thinner than the iridescent. So I think this would spray good directly how it is. I'm actually going to try it. I'll just use the 0.5 millimeter sprayer and see how it goes. And I'll let you know if I ended up having to reduce it at all. So that's the black right there. I did end up reducing it a little bit. It flowed a little bit, but it was definitely a little too thick even for the 0.5 millimeter needle. So still needs to be reduced. All of them seem to be need to be reduced a little bit, which is fine. It doesn't have to be too much. So after that, if it sprayed really nice, the coverage is actually really good. I did 2 light coats and then I did a pretty heavy wet coat afterwards, and came out great. So I don't see the any of the plain colors, like the base colors, being any issues. So yeah, everything sprayed great. All the different paints. So I haven't had any problems with it. Like I said before, definitely recommend these paints. All right, so this is the finished product of the paint job, the Hobby Lobby paint job. So I did add some more details towards the end. You could see the gold kind of on the front, and might be a little hard to tell on the side there, but there's some design on the side there also. And then also you could see you kind of see the little sparkles on it, on the paint. So that's a metal flake that I put on in the clear coat. So what I ended up doing is just on this, just so, like, if you guys ever want to try to do a pattern like that, what it is just I taped off this little section, this triangle, painted it gold with the Hobby Lobby gold paint, and then I put a piece of lace across it. So just like you could get it from fabric stores or whatever, maybe hobby stores. Just with the pattern, put it on top, went over with the purple again, and sprayed it so that just kind of where the lace is the outline now. And then after that, you take the lace off, take all the tape off, and then you go around the border with that. I went around the border with the purple again, and then lightly filled in everything again so that it's not a super bright gold, but it's bright enough that you can see it. The side's a little bit harder to see. I think I put a little too much more purple on there, but you can see the front came out really good. So either way, I was happy with how that turned out. And then at the end, when I did the clear coat, I added some metal flake into it, some silver flake into it, and that's where the little sparkles came from. But I'm sorry, I think you were out of focus. Either way, the paint came out really good. I think all the colors came out good. The black came out great, so that even the black is working good. That's usually, depends on how many coats you need to put on there. But everything else looks great. I would definitely recommend buying this paint. And the sprayers themselves, the actual airbrushes from Hobby Lobby, I'm not 100% sure. They look like the same that you could get off like Amazon, and I've used those. That was my first sprayer I used with the battery pack. I'm sorry, with the wireless battery compressor, and that worked fine. So I don't see a problem with it, but I haven't tried it, so I'm not 100% sure. But the paint itself is great. Even the clear coat works good. So I hope this helps somebody, helps you guys with it. And yeah, leave any comments. I'll try to respond to any questions that you guys have on this stuff. But I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and we'll see you on the next one.